My husband got really angry and called me and my daughter a-holes for checking his car's dashcam footage without his consent. I, 34F, live with my husband, 37M, and daughter, 7F. My daughter and I recently went on a short trip out of state while my husband stayed as he had work and was supposed to look after our dog. On the last day of our trip, we got a call from my husband who was acting distraught and said that our dog Ellie had run away and that he could not find her. He claimed she just bolted away from him in the park into some bushes and he could not find her. Our dog is quite small, a mini poodle mix and almost 13 years old. She is still active, but it is really unlike her to run away from us. And I was suspicious, but chose to believe my husband and me and my daughter were in grief, but did not want to blame him. When we came back home, he seemed surprisingly okay, unlike us. Ever since the pandemic, my husband started working from home, and he has always been annoyed at how much attention we gave Ellie and hated how Ellie begged to sit on our laps and his while he worked. A few days later, we got a call from an animal rescue in a neighboring state quite far from us that she had been found. I picked the phone and it was on our landline, which we almost never use these days, but was the contact on the microchip. I told my husband and he just said, "That is great, I am so happy," but it felt kind of blunt and insincere. I said it is strange that she got so far, and he responded that someone must have stolen her and then abandoned her. This made little sense to me as to why that would happen. When he was out drinking with his buddies, I copied the videos from his dashcam for the days I was away and saw that he had indeed taken Ellie far out of state and clearly dropped her in front of his car, thrown a frisbee-like object into a field, yelled fetch, and drove off without her. I was livid and confronted him, and he just stupidly muttered how he dropped her there so she could find a farm and have a better life. And then the next day got really angry at me for viewing his dashcam and called me and my daughter eye-hole. I refused to sign an NDA after a Bible camp youth pastor sexually harassed me. Hi everyone, so I, 18F, need some serious advice, and I really don't know who else to turn to. I'm hoping you all can help me figure out if I'm the eye-hole here. To start, my parents are super religious evangelical Christians. Like, they make me go to church twice a week, and they've got these really strict rules about what's right and wrong in God's eyes. Anyway, a bit of backstory. A few months ago, my parents found out I kissed a girl in high school. They totally freaked out and said I needed to repent for my sins and save my soul or something. They ended up sending me to this Christian summer camp that's run by a big megachurch they trust. I didn't want to go, but I figured it'd be a summer of lectures and prayers. Nothing I couldn't handle, but it was awful. One of the youth pastors there, let's call him Pastor Crete, was totally skeevy. He'd stand way too close, always find a reason to touch my shoulder or back, and would make really inappropriate comments about my appearance and my spiritual journey. It got worse. He started pulling me away from group activities for special counseling sessions, during which he'd pressure me to do things. He said if I didn't comply, he'd tell my parents I was doing Dougs and all sorts of other lies they'd totally believe. I was terrified and felt like I had no way out. He ended up pressuring me into having sex with him multiple times, and I lost my virginity this way. I never consented to any of it and felt so trapped and violated. When the camp ended, I was a mess, but I knew I had to do something, so I reported him to the megachurch. But instead of helping, they offered me and my parents this deal: sign an NDA and a covenant not to sue, and in return, we'd get 3 one-on-one prayer sessions with the big pastor of the megachurch, loyalty status with the church, personal prayers from the big pastor, and a bunch of vouchers and discounts on church events. My parents think this is a big opportunity and are demanding I sign the papers. They're mad at me for leading Pastor Creep on and say he was probably just lonely and sad. They really believe this deal is a way for us to get closer to God and strengthen our faith.